good afternoon. VindaCator here from iPlayMore.com. So, we're struggling with this vertical slice definition, and I think we finally got it figured out. Basically, what we're going to do is just take our user stories and focus just on the very specific things, polish those up, and to give it that final look and feel and quality of the game. Seems like a big stretch, but it's starting to make sense. So I think we got that accomplished now. So make sure you go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for our video game test of Thunder. And I'm the game producer, developer, and tester for Thunder Throne Wars. And it takes place right here. This is the Milky Way galaxy. And if you're an Earthling and you live on the Earth, it's funny when you say something you can't think of the same word. Earthling that lives on the Earth, and you travel down the Carina Arm, you come to the Stellar Jewel Box Nebula NGC 3603, and NASA took a satellite photo, and this is what they came up with. And I've seen this all over the internet. I said, man, we gotta put our planet there, and we gotta have our game happening there. So zooming in on our little planet. And we also talked to JPL, and they said that if we wanted to have rings around the planet, they would be spiral. So that is kind of where we ended up. And then I've reworked this map so that every playable level has its own square. And we're just talking to Zoran, talking about the technical aspect of this and how it has to be done. So, but we're working on it Intrepid right now. Even have chapters on it. Amazing. I'll show some of that today. I'll show a little bit of Bear Isle today as well, since that's the one that we've got kind of done. And yeah, so that's where we prototyped everything. And then we've got a metagame. This is just all design, so this isn't functioning yet. Of course, we don't have it all built out. But basically what's going to happen is winning and losing will matter, and it will add up. And as teams win and lose, to take territory back, you're going to have to keep winning. And this is what neutral looks like, so it won't have any color on it. And that's wide open for either team to win and take over the territory. So that's kind of the idea there. And then the climate system, just so we understand kind of what the territories are like. And so this is already starting to produce some fruit for us. And I must say that, I made the Mystery Island not wanting to know what's on it. And then we ran into a little snag with the story. And that makes so much sense what's on it. I shouldn't even be talking about that. I didn't want to ever know what was on that until I went and saw it. But I guess as a game designer, you have to know some of these things. So this is our professional map maker. He doesn't want to be named, so he wants to be known as Jackson of Rivengard, and that's how he wants to be credited. So that's what I do. And Phil and I did this. So Phil did the basic layout and world builder, and then I did all the seams and the textures and all that kind of stuff. Tried to figure it all out. And so it's so big. Like if you go back to here, it's supposed to be the brood over here. And the kin way over here, and then you can see so the brood, instead of it being over here, the brood is all the way up over here, just because it turned out so big. So we're going to do a reduction on this map. It's kind of hard to say that because, man, we put a lot of work into that, but it got a prototype done, so that's kind of cool. And struggled us through this time of waiting for the finances. So this is the mock-up I did for the sky. We're going to have a red sun and a blue sun, and I want to have some nice big moons in the sky, so I threw some moons in there too, just to kind of give us the idea. And there's the mock-up for our scoreboard, mock-up for our market exchange, mock-up for our wealth storage. This is just basically going to be your storage system. And a reminder to myself that I need to do a general storage. I mean, we're a long ways from all that kind of stuff, so there we go. So Zorn did up all this gear, and this. It's nice that somebody actually listens. So the design for this is that all this gear will be available to everybody. Our game is better than free to play. But if you buy this stuff, it says here, save $40 with the set and profit when you sell. So all of these prices you see here, that's when you sell stuff. And when you buy it, you're going to buy a package deal and get a deal on it. So that's the idea. We've got a long ways to go. We should be there by beta. So that's the design plan. So this is what I've completely changed, is the user stories. And I went with the spectator camera first, and we actually have that functioning already. I was arguing with the programmer. I'm like, well, just use the spectator that they have. And he says, well, that's not in the actual game. It's not actually running. I'm like, oh, yeah. So it's kind of funny. So, but I was watching a YouTube video from GDC, and they were saying, if you're going to have people spectate in your game, take some time and get your spectator system done. And I thought, man, that is really good advice, especially if we're going to be doing cinematography. We're going to have spectators. We're going to be doing broadcasting. And so I've got it all set up. How this is going to function is you're going to be able to watch a player play, click through other players, click between cameras. So there could be a whole bunch of spectators in the game, and somebody could broadcast that and click between them. So yeah, that's kind of the idea. And then we want to just focus on just the devices, the Hog and the Wolverine. So the blue, sticking with the blue and red concept for the two players. And that's what we're going to do for our vertical slice. And that will look fairly polished once we get through those few things in the very beginning. Looking at the global game market for last year, we're focusing on 75% of the market because we're doing a mobile and PC game. The mobile isn't in progress yet, but the plan is to have that done by beta. And this year, which is wrapping up, maybe a couple more streams, and we'll grab the stats for this year once they got them out. And so our main focus, I think, really I'm feeling strongly about this, is the very first thing as we go after so we're going to do private investment, of course. Man, there's some things I want to talk about, but I mean, man, so we'll just wait for the contracts to be signed. Anyways, there's some major things happening, and it's looking really good, very positive. But after that, then we want to go talk to Epic about the Mega Grant, and I also want to talk to them about being a publisher. So here's a bunch of publishers. Rick's talking about going to his publisher, second biggest publisher in China, NetEase, and pitching this. And I think that's a really good idea. I think we go pitch to a few of these, and then we just look and see what kind of deals come out on the table and pick the best one. I got a feeling, though, that Epic is really going to be looking for what's going to be next. And we definitely have the future of the video game industry in the palm of our hand, just by design. I really think that the industry is young. It's been taking advantage of gamers, and it's time to change that. So we're going to do that. So this is, to take this, let me just explain this. So typically, a video game company goes to publisher, gets some money, and then they go and they take a third of that budget and they make a cinematic. They spend a lot of money making a really nice short video, 4 or 5 minutes long. People watch it once, and then they go play 2/3 of the game. 2/3 of the game because why? I'm just turning the music down a little bit. Why? Because the money was spent on the cinematic. So I thought, you know what? That's a terrible idea. There's a gold rush right now. And it is all of these companies, Amazon, Netflix, and HBO. There's a gold rush. And what that means is it's easy to walk in the door. They are hungry for content. They're having a hard time filling the content bill. So we're in a position now with the Unreal Engine that we can actually have our characters in the game and broadcast and make a TV show right in the game. And I think that's incredible. People will binge watch 12 episodes. They'll come play our game. It'll be exactly the same. It won't be that fake, oh, we got this incredible cinematic. You watch it, and then you go play the game, and you're like, well, this is like night and day. This is like a Hollywood movie, and then I go play this, toy. And it's a toy because they've spent so much money on the cinematic. So this way, it gives us an income, additional income, and there we go. So those are the steps that we need to take for that. And what was shocking was that the professional advice is that we need to have a TV pitch Bible. We're not going to be able to duplicate what's online. Those are all wrong. Those are from the network days. And we have to have 5 seasons of shows planned. So I've told Quentin, go write he's done the first season already. And I said, now go write the 5th season, and then we'll work backwards. That's what we're doing. Lots of people say, well, why don't we do crowdfunding? Well, you have to have a crowd. So we're building up our mailing list. Now, I got to say this, that our website's been redone. Gabriel's done a fantastic job of our website. And it's starting to attract a lot more people signing up, a lot more bots too, so we're going to fix that. But a lot of real people too, so it's kind of cool. So this is all going to start working. And so this is what Jeff did on this side, on the right side, and what I did on the left side, kind of laying everything out. I also made the decision, as the writers were writing, they're talking about the dark laggers, and I said, oh, there's the misfits back here. I didn't know who they were, and they said dark laggers. I thought, oh, perfect. So the dark laggers are back here. Then we have the lagger castle. Then we have a marketplace. So like if you're going to be able to just go to your handheld device in the game, I'm not talking about your handheld device, I'm talking about one in the game, and be able to go to the marketplace anywhere in the game and access it. But if you're one of those people that like to walk up to a stall, that'll all be here. And then the regular laggers, the common laggers will be in front. So that's the idea. And the Intrepid base map, all the layout, everything. It's just so amazing to look at this, because there was a time when this was all we had. And now we've got so much. And even these screenshots have no textures. We got textures everywhere now, so it's absolutely amazing. I'll talk about that in a second. So this is the vertical slice, kind of the idea here. Obviously, I need to update some of these images. But anyways, the whole idea is the Story Master comes and says his piece. Now, I'm thinking that we're going to have to bring him in a lot more, because the writers were saying things like, you know, this is why this happens. I thought, well, who's saying that? Nobody's saying that. Nobody's, people watching the cinematic are not going to be reading the script. So I might have to bring the Story Master in. So anyways, that is all with animation. So Ryan is drawing all those panels out. And then this week we're going to scan them and put them and frame them all out with the song, that first song in the beginning there. And kind of time it all out and see how it all fits. Adrian did this. And it's so funny because I clicked on this today and I tried to put a texture on it, and it just went dark brown, and you couldn't see anything inside. I went, oh, okay, so there's no texture on that today. Another image she did for us, and I'm so happy about this because this really helps everybody understand it. And what Joe did, so he did this after she did her part, just to kind of make sense of it, and so we just kind of understand that this is all the kin side, all lush, and then this is the brood side, all dead. You can see there's piles of logs and wood everywhere and stumps everywhere and stuff like that. So yeah, that's that. Adrian did this. So Chandler's just building that dam, so we'll have that in soon. The Marmoset Island finally textured. Marmoset Village, still don't have our ability to paint paths. So I'm going to meet with Zoran tomorrow. We're going to talk about putting in some other things, and we'll get that done. If you want things done, do it yourself, right? So Jeffrey did the Intrepid summary document. It's a good thing I showed this, because then it makes people watch it and then they go, oh, hey, can I get that? And I'm like, oh, yeah. All right, Brood Fortress. So we're trying to go to this 3D gameplay, so things are going to happen on various levels. And again, I'm going to explain this, that we'll have the throne somewhere in here, the roof will close, and then the energy icon will be on the top, always exposed if dominations is declared. So you can watch me play today and understand a little better. All right, the geyser walk. So it's kind of cool. I did all the videos and edited them all and got those all too. So we've got a fellow, and he's working on the pit development. So he's got all those videos. He said it was a big help. So it's so cool. You work on all this stuff, and people come and people go, and delays happen, and it's just nice to have it all pulling together. So side of the lake, there'll be the burnt villages, the ruined villages, I should say. And then Nikita, our lighting director, had to do this incredible hut, and of course light it. That's kind of cool. And then the north side, which is actually in some screenshots, you'll see that in a couple seconds. The Blasted Valley. More on the Blasted Valley. And here it is. So what happened is, we've been talking about texturing the map. And we've just had that layover, which is not a texture. In fact, even some of our people are like, man, these textures look really... It's like, oh, it's not a texture. It's just an indication of where everything goes. And so this week, Unreal's just amazing. I mean, Epic Games, I should say. It's just amazing. So they released a version of Brushify for free. And so I'm like, okay, well, we got this thing for free. It's 2 gigabytes, so it's huge. And I thought, well, I'm going to go put it in. And I had no idea. Look at the flowers. I mean, I just painted this. Now, there's no textures on the trees or the plants yet. That's still to come. But look at this. And this is just me. It took me a little over an hour, and I painted the whole freaking level by hand. The technology is just amazing. So there's the marmosets. Ryan wants me to put more little villages, little homes in there, little huts in there. So we'll get that done for him. Boyan is working on the new gate. So that's still the old gate. I don't have everybody's name on this because I ran out of time, but I just had to put these new screenshots in. Look at this stuff. Absolutely gorgeous. Oh, I forgot to take that one out because I got that texture now. Look at the puddles. So I thought, man, yeah, if it's close to the lake, it's probably going to be wet. So this isn't done. This is just the first draft of the textures, but it gives us a bit of an idea. And on the mountains, we got to do some more painting with snow and things like that. But this is just the first step. No textures on the buildings yet, just on the water, and now the landscape has textures on it now. Some more views of that. And then I just, I put grasslands here, and then I put the dead grass to kind of make a bit of a path. So there's no paths yet when I haven't painted paths. I did do this, and this is just a note. This is 2 notes for Henrique. I think maybe he's the guy to talk to about this. So I'm not sure if this has been unwrapped properly, this land bridge. And so I think that's what's happening. You see the textures are doing some crazy stuff. That's usually a UV map issue, but at least I kind of got it to match. I was kind of amazed. I thought, can I just click on that and put a material instance on it? Yes, you can. So that's kind of cool. That's probably not the best way to do it, but another picture of the Marmoset village, and they're tiny. And then this is not lava. This is just me painting desert sand. But I just want to kind of get an idea of the lava flow and how it's going to work. And of course, this is going to be a big pit. Of course, there's going to be a fortress here, but that is just the placeholder. So we still got the placeholder there, but we're not putting that into the vertical slice yet. So, but you can see how it works. Oh, and just for the team, I didn't paint under the ocean. I guess it probably should be the beach sand, but I wasn't sure, so I didn't do it. But it's looking good. We'll do some more snowpacks in here. This looks like it has too much snow. And of course the castle's not textured, so it just looks white. So it's probably going to be like a cream color, so it'll stand out a lot better. And there we go. I was thinking too we should probably have a snow on here. So this might have to be a special material instance that actually matches that. So again, to Henrique. Oh, the other thing for Henrique is that, let me just see if I can find one. It's better if I find the image. So these are all the images I've taken, but it's looking so much better. I just feel very confident now about this. I mean, we're going to still do a lot of stuff. We still got to put all textures on the plants and stuff, but it's coming along. And this is the land bridge here. So this side, the textures aren't stretched, but look at the difference between the land bridge, which is a model, and the terrain, and how that stuff is working on the terrain. And I just will go over that and paint it with a brush. Absolutely amazing. And the puddles again, looking at the land bridge up top there. And then I just like that, just showing, I mean, because this is just all flat and smooth, and how this texture set can make that look like it's got, some texture to it, and the sun shining off it. Just beautiful. And then going back to the screenshots we had before, the pit by Ryan. Oh, so let's just go back to what I want to talk to Henrique about. So this is the second thing. So I'll just take this. So what's happening here is all this grass is moving, and we figured out a way, Henrique did it, where he would use a grayscale that changed. So the top of the grass would move a lot, the bottom wouldn't move at all. So that needs to be done here. So that's the second thing. All right. Dun, 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 dun. So the pit by Ryan. So we got this all functioning, and it's all procedural. Sorry, it's all it's modular. That's the word I'm looking for. so we can just continue it and build it. Oh, so talking about Bane, so this is an unknown artist did up this idea, so we need to have some empty huts. So I just wanted to present this as an idea, something that we had done before. So Jeff had worked on this, and this is kind of where it sits. But now he's got this right, so now the entrance, because that's going to be that big entrance with all the light shining in on the kin side. So that's kind of cool. Clock quest is done. Shania did the waypoint. So that'll lead you to the quests. That's the theory. And then the Lager Princess, she has no hair. I want to keep saying that. She's got Farrah Fawcett hair, so you just couldn't have the two things together in the same. They will be eventually, but it's just how things are when you do it. So Dylan has done the hidden quest and did such an amazing job. I mean, I understand the quest completely, and I was just riveted. I had to read. It was like I was doing the quest, reading it. Absolutely amazing. So we're going to have training quests. This is just something that's kind of grown in the game, and it's going to teach you about all of these elements, because there's a lot going on in this game. And this is how we're going to do it. You're going to obtain a pit quest book, and then this is what Derek did up this week to make it look like it's kind of old and worn and that kind of stuff, and where everything is, and just doing it kind of black and white. So that's where we're at with that. We'll do that with all the pits, and so you as the gamer are going to get that, and then you're going to get banished, and then you're going to kind of understand, oh, I'm inside this shape, and it might make a little more sense how to get out and move around. We hope, but I just kind of thought it was a good idea, because his art would have only been internal. Nobody would have ever seen it, and now they're going to be able to see it. So it's pretty cool. So again, a very old image that Jeff did, and showing the Strangler Forest, and we created the Strangler plant, and Dominique did the modeling for it, and so that's what we have. And I just thought, well, that's got to be in the Strangler Forest. It should be kind of on the Brood side. So that's kind of where that is. That's why that's all going. So make sure you go to teespring.com, and we've got a t-shirt there. We've got the poster. If you go to teespring.com/store/iPlayMore, enter code iPlayMore, you can save $3. And if you hang out in our Discord, you can earn mana, which is a real currency in our game. So it's just, think of it like real money. So we've got two currencies in the game. We've got mana, and we've got game salary for the free players. All right. So that's telling me to wave hello. So I turn on my camera, wave hello. So I'm still doing the eye block. And in fact, I'm going to reach over and turn off the second monitor. So if you're going to chat, you got to hang out for a little bit so that I can see it. So there we go. Let's go take a look at the game. See, now I shouldn't have turned that screen off yet, because that's where I do that. And there we go. So this is Bear Isle. And just three of us worked on this, basically. Henrique, myself, and the programmer. And got this working. So it's a nice level. It's way too big, but that's how you learn. So anyways, hit Alt-P, and we'll jump in and we'll do a little bit of gaming here. I think pretty much everything's working on the new map, so I'll do a lot of stuff there. Oh, what's not working? Usurp is not quite working 100%, so I'll show that here, and maybe we'll just go into the pit a little bit. I don't know, we'll just make it up. Oh yeah, the other thing I wanted to go check out was the flowers, because we've got something very different happening with our flowers. Okay. So Alt-Tab, come on, Alt-Tab. Why is it not working? Okay, I don't know why it's not working. It's like nothing's working. Huh. For some reason, I cannot Alt-Tab. Nope. All right. Fine. The wonderful thing of live broadcasting. So this is actually pretty cool. I mean, I thought the most important thing was to make a prototype, get everything working, get gameplay happening, all those kind of things. And it turns out that's not what publishers finance. Publishers finance vertical slices.
The king. Winds of thunder.
Alright, well. So I guess we won't worry about the enemy in this map today. I don't know why that's happening. It seems very strange. Never happened before. Can happen, have to happen one day. So when you, let me just do something here. So when I push a tilly, and if I go FOV, and I go 112, it's going to give me a little better view. And you can see my device is 888, it's totally filled up. And if I run over this fountain here, I've leveled it up. Hit a tree. Just thinking about how much this is all going to change once this is a smaller map again. That's a shrine there. Alright, let's just go to the enemy base. And you can play as either side. So basically what we want to do in the beginning of the game is allow people to pick whatever plays on that map that they want. And play there and try to take territory. So, you know, if you're coming in cold, see, this is the thing that a lot of other games don't really understand. You're coming in cold, you need to warm up. They just throw you into the game.
The king. King of dominations.
So that's kind of number one. I held my spacebar a little too long. So we haven't set up any, you see how the land's popping like that? We haven't set any of that stuff up. Oh, I'm gonna hit the wall. That's all gotta be done. See if I can get onto the walkway here. Now all I gotta do is touch that throne and I have an empire. Or I can push T and place a throne. So let's place a lightning throne. So I push D to select it, and then I push left mouse click.
The king.
Now you can see that's the king's crown. We'll have emperor crowns coming. So basically, this is the other thing that other games miss, is this guy that you're going to go fight. How good is he? You have no idea. You fight him 10 times, you have no idea how good he is, unless you push tab and look at the score, and then you got to find his name, and, you know, just in a battle doesn't really help. But I come up to this guy, I immediately know by the crown that that's a high-level player. That's a guy that's ranking high, and I want to be very cautious. Of course, it's just myself in this case, but it's just something that I felt needed to be a part of a game so that you knew. So we're just going to place thrones all the way across the map. I guess I can just do this in the other map. It's actually in key with the music. Not anymore. The music changed. Happens every once in a while. Just an accident. Didn't plan any of that stuff. When I go in the studio, I just write from the heart. It is what it is. Anyways, when you place thrones across the map, let's just take a look here at what I'm doing. I'll just jump up. You can see there's a line of thrones coming across. You can see my crown there. Whoa. You push enter so I can fly. Because when you're up that high, it's a little bit difficult to manage. You're also seeing it's a little bit laggy, and that's just because we haven't done this correctly. The new map is going to be, I'm going to say closer, because it's not perfect yet. We're still learning about that stuff, but when we put the game out, it will be very performant. This is just a prototype, so it's not quite as performant as we would like it to be. But this is where we worked out all the ideas of how things would function and all this gameplay. As you see, I get close here.
The king domination. Dominations.
All right, so we've got 2 victory conditions. And so one is to banish the enemy to the pit, all the enemy. So if there's 16 players, all 16 are contained within the pit. Let's actually just go look at that for a bit so we have an idea what the pit is. And the other thing that we've got to optimize too is have the pit. So now that I'm in the pit, the whole map should not. And it's still kind of laggy. It shouldn't be. It's because it's drawing all of that stuff up top. So the sleeping dragon here. Guarding the egg. And hiding behind the dragon. Secret door. So we can come in, grab some rare shields, grab a rare device, shoot our door, and we can come back out. So this is the pit, and this is where we banish people. It's a massive place. So what's going to happen here is this is going to be much more like a Half-Life level. So there's going to be puzzles, things to figure out, and different kind of puzzles. And it's a completely different gameplay. So let's say like Half-Life down below and like Call of Duty up top or whatever in the arenas. And then outside the arenas is going to be more like an MMO. So this is the hub. So remember I created a stronghold and I did that at the fountain. And so that is right up there. So if I go around and around and around and around up there, I can escape. But I'm not going to do that today. I'm just going to go back and finish our dominations here. So that's one victory condition, to banish the entire enemy to the pit. So it's so much better than this whole idea about shooting people. You know, they die by surprise. I mean, by surprise because, you know, you're totally healthy until you have 0 health. And then you're dead. And then they count you out for 20 seconds. I'm playing 5 games right now, all first-person shooters that all use that mechanic. And I like to say, you know, the 1980s called me, want their lame game mechanic back. But everybody uses it, so it's kind of ridiculous. So anyways, I have placed thrones from my castle all the way over. I can do that in conjunction with my teammates. They can place them too, so we can put this in double, triple, quadruple jeopardy. And so it's a lot harder for the enemy. You can see that those thrones... Oh, the zoom isn't working here. You can see those thrones are out. And you can see that I got a crown on the main throne, which gives me a throne power, so I got lightning, so I can fire that with F. Oh, and we crashed. Interesting. Okay, so that's going to be that for that. We're not reporting on that one anymore, so that's very strange. We've got some issues happening there. It seems to be more as time goes on, which is not a good thing. Okay, let me just find out where we are here and go load the new map, which is much more exciting because it's the one in development instead of the one we're abandoning. All right. So all the music you're hearing is for our video game. I've composed 47 songs, mixed them, and mastered them. They're all very loud. What my volume is at, I don't know, 3% right now. Just so that I can talk over it. And what we plan on doing is the soundtrack is streaming it. And so here we go. So let's just go full screen here. And I'm gonna just well, let's float around here a bit. So you come down like this, and then I was just amazed as you zoom in, and this is all optimized so that it's not drawing all this stuff until you get close enough. Because you can see as I back away, you can't really see that grass there. It's still there. So there we go. So Henrique, yeah. So what we need to do is make the bottom stay stable and the top move. Henrique knows how to do that. So Hopefully it's not a big job. We got to put a snowpack up in here like we had before. There we go. So I've just got the thrones and the energy icon sitting out in the map. I think we're going to leave it like that. So let me just hit Alt-P. This should be working. We'll find out. But it's nice to see that land bridge blending in, even though it's not totally correct. So that's something else too, because that's we got to get that land bridge to a broadcast level. So let me just talk about this. So there is the spectate button as I was mentioning earlier. So if I push that, that's going to put me into a spectator mode for me to watch. I've done 4 new screens so that you can flip through all this kind of stuff. But so there must have been some sort of bug there. Let's just hit. Oh. Yeah, for some reason Alt-Tab is not working today, so I don't know why. But I was able to get to this. Here we go. All right. Yeah, for some reason when I mouse down, it is opening up my Windows button. But isn't that nice? We got grass, we got textures. It's not perfect, but it is so much better than what we had before. So let's get the brood here. Yeah, so Alt-Tab is not working. So I'm just going to do the look down thing here. Man, this is not a good way to do this. I don't know what's going on. It's never happened before.
Princess of Thunder.
So we were playing the males in the other game, and now this is the females. Look down. Oh man. I feel very handicapped right at the moment.
Princess of Thunder.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to do everything here the simple thing. And I'll have to try to figure out why that's not functioning. In both versions of the engine, which is strange. Okay, so, oh, and that's the other thing too, is that, so let me just go up in the air. You can see these have leaves on them, and there's no textures. But when you go down below, there's no, the leaves disappear. I think that's because two-sided wasn't selected. Okay, so when she goes and makes a stronghold, and here's the secret, is to just jump in the middle. Otherwise you sink down. So Boyan wanted to have the actual letters glowing on the pillars, so that was very cool. So there's no textures on that yet, so we'll get to that. All right, let's put her off the throne. Throne here. These characters are really small, so we have our real characters coming just in development stuff. And yeah, there's lots of little delays. Typical. So you're hearing the sound. You see it says 10 there at the bottom of my screen. I'm collecting throne energy. That's what you use to place thrones. That's what you use to put your scepter on line. Now I can push T here. It's not going to work because I'm on the enemy throne. I can only place from my own throne. You know, the only problem is I don't know where she went.
Queen of Dominations.
I threw her off the throne. Now we have a thing in the game called recoil. So this is my jump. It's because you got wings. You can jump like this. And I can let go of it, and then I can jump again and continue. And then I'm using a device on my right arm, it's a recoil device. And you see how it pulls me. And I just have to touch this throne, and boom. We need to optimize the code there. There's a little bit of a delay. Okay, so that's not working at all. Let's just do the look down thing. Because I got to find the character. Sorry about this. I don't know what's going on. Oh, here she is. Yeah, good luck. Look where she is. I would have never found her. So that's the other thing that we got to... So, yeah, I guess that's some advanced gameplay. Because I know you're going to say, how are we going to find everybody? Oh, let's just show. So you see on my screen it says find. So that means that I need to go to shrines and find the matching one. That one does not match. So if I come in, it's not going to unlock it. This is going to be your inventory. So after you're banished to the pit. Oh, it's so nice seeing this texture though. Oh, wow. It looks just gorgeous. And to think I didn't have to place anything. It's just all automatic. Okay, let's just find out. I'm going to put her somewhere where I can find her. Let's put her right by this. Okay, so now I can find her. Except now I can do the look down thing. Why is Alt-Tab not working? I hope that's just some Windows bug or something. Not gonna curse me for the rest of my life here. Okay, so you can see I've got my throne, or so my crown on my throne. Her throne is out. So the whole game's been reduced to one throne. We spent a lot of time testing this kind of stuff, so this is kind of revolutionary gameplay based on us doing things. And I just place... So you get a dynasty by default after 8 minutes. It hasn't been 8 minutes. We just have it set up to happen a little faster. Okay, so she is... by this one. There she is. Okay, so you see I've got right beside my crosshairs. I can push F, and I attack her with fire, lightning, ice, storms. So those are all the things, and that's because I placed all those thrones. And I'm stuck in ice myself. All right, there we go. Just a little bug happening there. So I'm gonna pick. What do I got 2 of? I got 2 blue. So we got a couple things happening. One of the things we got happening, so I'm going to shoot away from her. Splash damage. If I shoot her on. So it's a different sound. And then right click's a different sound. So we don't have the animation happening. All those barrels are going to spin. That's going to be like a minigun. Let's go to the hog. So no splash on the hog. But it's got a left and right click. So there's your sound saying that you're actually hitting the person. So if you miss, there's no sound. And what's great about the game now is I can push Control, zoom in on her. I can roll the mouse wheel. I can get real nice and close. So you see that she just went from blue shield to the rare. All I gotta do is get rid of her rare shield. Left click does more damage. So she's been banished. So this is what we do. So instead of counting somebody out for 10 seconds or whatever, there's no countdown. Now you do have an option as part of our plan here. So I'm just picking up what she dropped. So this is call this booty. Our characters are really small right now just for testing. So just ignore that. So yeah, now I gotta switch to her again. Forgive me. This is just bizarre. There we go. So it says you've been banished. WASD doesn't work. You can look, there's the enemy. You can see the enemy. We're going to have a banish animation here. And then you just simply push your right mouse button and you've been banished to the pit. Now I just want to talk about something here. Somebody on the team put in distance fields I thought that Nikita went and did lighting on the pit because I asked him to. And he's like, no, I didn't do that. So you can see how the distance fields are lighting up, which I thought was something Nikita did, but he said no, he didn't do that. And if I push H to see my HUD, you can see I got 0 shields. So I am vulnerable. So if an enemy came down here, they would be able to keep me here. Now, what keeps them from doing that over and over and over repeatedly? Well, they only get 1 point for banishing me. So they get points for taking my shield, but I have none. So that's how we do this. That's not the right shrine. So I'm just going to go see if the shrine is over here. And we're going to have puzzles with the mushrooms and stuff. I guess that's a Mario thing. Everybody keeps saying that over and over again. Oh, and this is a repeated pattern. So this is something we need to address. All right, so I know there's a secret over here. Not going to be here in the end. I just wanted to see. Oh, there's no lock on this one. So there is 10 shrines, 2 in the pit, and you want to match that symbol. And of course this one's not working. So how do you get out? Just go to, you've got a over button with your mouse, or your arrow keys. So I can push over button, I can select freedom to fly, or I can push return, push enter, and I just spawn back. My shields are maxed at 44%. You really don't want to be fighting with that. I mean, you can. If you're crazy and want to run back into the game a little bit shorthanded, you can do that. But what I recommend, and you're going to spawn by this tree, so you don't have to go all the way back. These are just placeholders for the virtual vertical slice. What the heck happened here? That's very interesting. I must have did that. I don't know. Maybe I did. Maybe I didn't. I think I did. I don't know. So if I come to my home tree shrine, or even the enemies, I unlock my shields, and now I can level them up again. Come back to my inventory, get my stuff back. So what the enemy gets, let's just go up into the supply room here. What the enemy gets is my items, and I have the schematics, so I don't ever lose my stuff, but they gain access to it. So I've got a really rare device. These are all not rare. Common. So there we go. I've got everything back again. Plus I've got the rare devices from the pit, so I can come back into the map, and I'm ready to go face her again. And if I push H, 60-70% shields, not too bad. Oh, I can go show something else here too. So let's just say I don't want to go there with 60-70% shields. That's definitely not what I want to do. What other games do is they put like some really good power up, and then it spawns every 2 minutes, and then it's very difficult to find. Oh, look at my shots. So we're going to speed those up. They shouldn't be slower than me. Although, I don't know. That just seems weird to me. But so if I push G, G is gesture. You see that her hands drop down? So we actually do have the gesture functioning. Just in code, not in animation. There's no animation on here. But you see things are starting to drop here. And so now I can go grab some power-ups. Freedom, the ability to fly. Which I already got some. Just going to push G a bunch more times, spam it. Forgive me for my screen flashing. And then from the sky, There they are. Ooh. These are rare. So sometimes it just works out. So instead of waiting for 4 minutes, now I've got 80% notability, which is 5 times damage. This is not with. Okay, so as players are doing their gestures, it's making stuff drop from the sky in these remote locations on the map. Things you'll have to learn, things you can learn by watching my stream. There's what I'm looking for. So I can just push the over arrow and I can go through all this stuff. So I can turn that on, which is notch up. Oops, clicked off my screen. And you can see my shields are filling up. And my devices aren't leveled up. I gotta think about that. Let's check that out. Because I did make a stronghold, but I was banished. Whoa, let's slow down. Whoa! Oh yeah, that's the other thing I did too. So I can pause everything. So that my shields are full, I can pause that. Or just let it run out, doesn't matter. There's supposed to be puddles here. I thought there was puddles here. Oh, that's the other thing I want to do. There's way too many rocks. I mean, it's alright, but to me that's just a little bothersome. I'm not sure, are they real models? It doesn't feel like they have collision on. Is there puddles here? I swear I put puddles here. Honestly. Anyways. What is that? What is that? That's a rock floating in the air. Okay, so that's got to be fixed. There's a plant. Oh, so there's some problems. I've seen. Oh, look at this. Rocks floating in the air. See, I swear that wasn't like that before. So we've got some bugs. Some stuff I'll have to address with Zorn. Alright. There's the enemy. So here's what I can do. Of course I can fly, but I could be invisible, so she can't see me. I could go 5 times damage. Oh, okay, so another crash. But see, this is an important crash. So I'm going to end it there. Send that to the programmer. So yeah, we're not supposed to have that notability sound going over and over and over again. Anyway, so make sure to go to iPlayMore.com, sign up for a video game test. Yeah, we're just prototyping. It's still early stage, working a vertical slice. We'll get these bugs sorted out. And it's always nice when it doesn't crash. In fact, that level didn't crash for the very longest time. Now that we're getting more into refining the code, we're getting a little bit of crashing happening. So I'll send that off to the programmer. We'll have that fixed for next week. And anyways, that's all I want to say. So it's VindaCator saying thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, share, comment, ring the bell so you know when these are going up. And we'll talk to you soon. It's VindaCator, and I am